I'm back. Tuesday. I've just been to Ingleton, which is that's a right bleeding run. So I've been messing about in here today. That's my diesel for my tractor. Yesterday I put something on about bird flu. And normally I read all comments what people put on. I'll put it up there. And I read all comments that people put on. And a bloke had put that there is bird flu and thousands of birds are going to die with bird flu. And government wouldn't say that there is bird flu if it didn't exist. So that's his opinion. That's what he believes. And I get that. He believes in bird flu. I'm not saying that I'm right, and I'm not saying that he's right. What I'm saying is, I can't agree with him, because then we'd both be wrong, wouldn't we? So that's what I'm saying. I know it's bollocks. I know that bird flu don't exist. Because birds have been, as I said yesterday, migrating for thousands and thousands of years. How comes all of a sudden, hey up Sid, what you doing? Come here, I'm having a chat on YouTube, come here. Look who's come to see us. Ah, Sid, what doing? You come to find me? You doing me a cup of tea? What about bird flu, Sid? He don't believe in it and all, he says it's bollocks. Even dog don't believe in it. This government, as in the past with other governments, will do everything they can, everything possible, to ruin this country. I've seen today where they gain £150 million to bloody hell, Pakistan, to help with birth control. 150 million. Now that's not a lot of money when you look at the money that we have. We're the 6th richest country in the world. Although if you pay your taxes here, you get nothing. You get zero. So we can spend £150 million on sending money to Pakistan to help with birth control. But young lasses here that are on the period have to buy Tampaxes. And they charge for them. Why not make them free? Why not give them? That don't make sense to me. To give money to another country to support them, but take money from us own. So young lasses at 13 and 14 year old have to buy them. They should be free. That's what I think. Crazy. Back to eggs. It's crazy, isn't it? It's just coming up to Christmas. So you've had turkey farmers all year looking after the turkeys and stuff like that. You've had people who have chickens, letting them roam round selling eggs all year round, looking after the chickens. But they don't want you to sell eggs. They don't want people to produce their own food. This government don't want that. They want us to buy food from abroad. They're not into us being self-sufficient. They'd rather buy food from hundreds of thousands of miles away and fly it into the country. And then they talk about being net zero. Well, bananas aren't net zero, are they? They're not. Milk from abroad. That's not net zero, is it? Because all them air miles add up. Coal. We burn coal. And don't come from England. Although we stood on billions and billions of tons of coal. But Conservatives smashed NUM and shut all mines down. Margaret Thatcher was one of the best prime ministers that this country's ever had, without a doubt. But that doesn't take away from my belief that she went in with one agenda, and that was to smash miners. Because what they'd done in past to Ted Heath. So if you look back, you'll see. So now we have to buy coal from abroad. There's more pollution from Drax power station now than there were when it was just coal being burnt. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Chickens, if you've got 50 chickens, they can roam around. Not a problem. You can't sell their eggs, but they can roam round outside. If you've got 51 chickens, just one extra, they've got to be locked up. But battery hens are locked up all the time. Doesn't affect battery hens, does it? And battery hens, it's barbaric. It's cruel. And I get some people want cheap food, cheapest eggs on supermarket shelf. But you've got to think about quality of animals' life as well. So if I go to somewhere called Sedbert at Meatup, which is a butcher's there, the meat is beautiful. It's more expensive, I grant you, without a doubt. Not a lot more expensive, but it is a little bit more. But the taste from a proper butcher's shop is far superior than any supermarket. You don't want, I don't know, 50 drumsticks, chicken drumsticks for £1.50. You're having something, you want it to have been comb fed. You want it to be free ranged, knowing that that animal has had a good life. So the guy who put his comment on, he's took it off, but he totally disagreed with me and says, I think that's rubbish. I do believe in bird flu, and I do believe that people with chickens should go have them all locked up. Yeah, I know. Yeah. This is probably somebody in Rotherham. Donkeys. You can hear them. Donkeys having a go. That's probably somebody in Rotherham who's never seen a bleeding chicken. He thinks that supermarkets make eggs. Crazy. So that's what I wanted to put on today. I don't know what time it is. I know it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, 11th of November, 1624. I haven't done a lot today. I've been in here sorting things out. I've got loads to sort out. Loads. I think you saw last time when I was in here, I've got I tidied up a bit, but I've been moving stuff about. There's all sorts. Banjos on there and all. Found that. So that's it, that's me done for today. You might not agree with what I say. That's your choice. Scroll on past. But if something that I say rings true, do me a favour, subscribe. Leave me a comment. Press like. Share it with your mates. Let me tell you something about Labour Party. they got everybody to go, well, they tried to get everybody to go electric vehicles. Electric's the way forward, net zero and all. Net zero's bollocks. It's just a way to tax us. Net zero, we need to all drive around in electric Tesla cars. Well, in budget, they put in 3p a mile on electric vehicles to make it fair with people who buy diesel and fossil fuels, because they realise that they're not getting that tax at the petrol stations. So Rachel Reeves has thought, there's a good way here to get some more money off people with electric cars. So they've now got to pay nearly 300 quid for road tax that they didn't have to pay, because that were free, weren't it? They've now got to pay 3p a mile for travelling. Well, that doesn't sound much, but it adds up. And the promise were that they won't have that to pay, but now they have got it to pay. That's thin end at wedge, without a doubt, because that's not going to stop at just EVs. That's going to come back to sensible people like me who drives around in a diesel truck. We'll end up having to pay per mile before they've finished, because they'll think, we get more out of that than we do out of road tax. It's a con. It's an absolute and utter con. It's just a way that they have us pants down and get money off us. And there's nothing you can do about it, is there? Realistically. I have to drive. I've no two ways about it. I've got to drive. So they've got you one way or another. Crazy. You see, if you tax the working people, this is how I see it. If you tax them to death, people will get sick to death of working. And the harder you work in England, the more you get taxed. The more you save, the more you get taxed. The more successful you are in England, the more the government wants off you. The less you work, the more you're given. It's quite simple, isn't it? It's true, it's fact. Oh yeah, but people who are unemployed, they have to have money. Yeah, they do. And some people are unemployed through no fault of their own. No fault of their own. But there's some people in England who don't want to work. I'll probably lose some subscribers by saying that. But I know people where I used to live who's never worked. They've never had a proper job. They hate other people who's successful. They hate other people who's getting on. That's how they are. They don't want to see somebody who's made a lot of money, worked hard, took the risk. Because they've never took a risk. Only risk they take is staying in bed while 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's crazy. I pay as much tax now on savings as what a lot of people do for working. Is that fair? No, it's not fair. How can that be fair? I've saved. Why should I have to pay tax on that? I've already paid tax to save it. But then I'm taxed again. Mad. Absolutely fucking balmy. I'm taxed from getting out of bed in the morning till I go to bed at night. I'm taxed for everything. Now they're going to tax us if we want to leave country. 20% on your assets. That's what they're talking about. We've got another 4 years of this government. But I'll tell you something, in 4 years, this country will be fucked. Totally and utterly ruined. They've started with farmers. They attacked Conservatives attacked miners and they smashed NUM. Arthur Scargill were a prick anyway, but they smashed it. I mean, let's call a coal strike on hottest fucking summer ever. That's Arthur Scargill's mentality. But Labour's doing it with farmers. The exact same thing. Oh, inheritance tax we'll call it.